Opinion disbanding Awami League could lead to identity crisis for Bangladesh. On May 10, 2025, the interim government in Bangladesh further amended the International Crimes Tribunals Act, 1973 through Ordinance No. 20, 2025. It thus authorized the tribunal to suspend and prohibit the activities of any political party including its front organizations, cancel its registration and confiscate its property if found guilty of aiding, inciting, or conspiring in any crimes mentioned in the statute. The Yunus administration, however, was unwilling to wait for the tribunal's verdict. On the same day, it hastily announced a ban on all activities of Awami League, pending the disposal of cases against it. On May 8, the Yunus administration had created a second three-member tribunal with former High Court Judge Nazrul Islam Chowdhury as its chairman. The existing three-member tribunal under Justice Mohammad Ghulam Murtaza Mazumdar has been redesignated as International Crimes Tribunal ICTI. The interim government has redefined the objective of the tribunal, established on March 25, 2010. Its original purpose was to prosecute and punish those guilty of genocide and crimes against humanity during the Bangladesh Liberation War, 1971. A second tribunal was created on March 22, 2012 to expedite pending trials, but the two were merged on September 15, 2015, after the caseload decreased significantly. The tribunal was essentially created by Sheikh Hasina's administration, though its conception dates back to her father Mujibur Rahman's government. Ironically, she now finds herself subject to its scrutiny. There was initial disagreement on whether approximately 1,400 lives lost in police firing during anti-quota protests July 15 to August 5, 2024 constituted genocide. The father of a student belonging to Students Against Discrimination filed a complaint with the ICT against 9 people, including deposed Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Professor Asif Nazrul, advisor on law, justice, and parliamentary affairs in the interim government, opined that the July killings qualified for trial by the tribunal. The tribunal had previously ruled that crimes against humanity need not be specific to war. Banning political parties is not new in Bangladesh. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman initiated this practice. Not content with Awami League's overwhelming majority, 307 out of 315 seats in Bangladesh's first general election March 7, 1973, Mujib amended the 1972 constitution on January 25, 1975, changing the government from parliamentary to presidential. Mujib, as Marcus Franda 1982 states, was vested with all executive power and authorized to declare Bangladesh as a one-party state. In subsequent months he abolished all political parties, stripped the Supreme Court of its powers to enforce fundamental rights, created special courts and tribunals directly answerable to him, and closed down all but 4 daily newspapers, 2 in English, and 2 in Bengali. All 4 of the newspapers that were allowed to exist were either government or party-owned. Bangladesh, the First Decade, p. 55. On June 6, 1975, 40 days before his assassination in a coup, Mujib formally ended multi-party democracy in Bangladesh by establishing one-party rule under Bangladesh Krishak Shramik Awami League Kaisal. Bangladesh subsequently fell under the rule of military dictators General Ziaur Rahman and General H.M. Ershad, who governed for 15 years combined. In the last 50 years, Bangladesh has experienced coups, military dictatorships, controversial elections, political violence, and attempts to create an Islamist state. Even the two-party democracy in place since 1991 devolved into confrontational politics, often dubbed the Battle of the Begums. In 2007, under the caretaker government of President Ayazuddin Ahmed, a controversial -2 formula was devised to restore democracy by excluding both Sheikh Hasina and Begum Khaleda Zia from politics. Both leaders were arrested. This unpopular formula faced backlash and was abandoned. It resurfaced recently when BNP General Secretary Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir mentioned it disapprovingly. Both Sheikh Mujib and Sheikh Hasina exhibited authoritarian tendencies, seeking to eliminate political opponents. Their personalities often overshadowed the party itself. However, the Bangladesh Nationalist Party BNP has demonstrated similar tendencies. When in power, example 199,196 and 200,106, the BNP attempted to manipulate elections, leading to the introduction of caretaker governments, demonstrating the immaturity of Bangladeshi democracy. Yet, banning Awami League is different. It threatens Bangladesh's identity. Ahmed Sofa 19432001, the late Bangladeshi essayist, poet, and public intellectual, suggested that while Awami League's triumph might signify the victory of a few leaders, its defeat represents a loss for all of Bangladesh. Bengali Musalmaner Maan, p. 17. This is due to the party's historical roots in the struggle of the people of East Bengal. Sofa acknowledged Awami League's shortcomings, including its superficial secularism, which he considered a political tool incapable of addressing obscurantism and dogmatism within Muslim society, hindering Bangladesh's social progress. Nevertheless, Awami League spearheaded nation building in East Pakistan, culminating in Bangladesh's independence. Founded as Awami Muslim League Party on June 23, 1949 under Maulana Abdul Hamid Khan Bashani 18801976, its initial leadership comprised dissidents from the Pakistan Muslim League, formerly All India Muslim League. Before partition, the All India Muslim League prioritized the creation of Pakistan, neglecting governance issues that later plagued the new state. The party became an exclusive clique, restricting membership, which fueled discord. The East Pakistan Awami Muslim League Est. 1949 was among several dissident parties emerging from the Muslim League. By the end of 1949, according to Shyamali Ghosh 1990, around 20 opposition parties existed in Pakistan, including 13 in Punjab, 8 formed by dissident Muslim Leaguers. The Awami League 19491971, p2. The Awami Muslim League's influence grew. In the 1954 provincial elections, its alliance with the Krishak Shramik Party, led by A.K. Fazlul Huq, and other smaller parties, campaigning on a 21-point demand commemorating the Bengali language martyrs of February 21, 1952, decisively defeated the Muslim League, which secured only 9 seats compared to the United Front's 229. The United Front's manifesto, essentially Awami Muslim League's Charter of Demands, was condensed from 42 to 21 points by journalist and lawyer Abul Mansur Ahmed. Neither in the manifesto of Awami League nor in that of Krishak Shramik Party, notes Justice Muhammad Munir 1979, was there any reference to Islam or the Quran and Sunnah from Jinnah to Zia, p. 17. At its Dhaka session from October 21-23, 1955, Awami Muslim League dropped Muslim from its name. The Awami League 1956 advocated for abolishing separate electorates, a colonial legacy. Prime Minister H.S. Surawardi, leading a coalition of Awami League and the Republican Party, piloted the Joint Electorate Bill on October 10, 1956. Joint electorates were introduced in East Pakistan, but separate electorates remained in the West, highlighting Pakistan's internal divisions. In spite of economic backwardness, comments Badruddin Umar, East Bengal was an advanced region in respect of social, cultural, and political developments. Owing to its cultural and political backwardness and predominantly feudal composition of leadership in West Pakistan, they cling to old prejudices. The emergence of Bangladesh Vol 1, p. 329. On April 3, 1957, the East Pakistan Legislative Assembly adopted a resolution on regional autonomy, moved by Mo'iuddin Ahmed of Awami League and addressed by his party colleague and United Front Minister Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Mujib described regional autonomy as crucial for East Bengal. The resolution demanded full autonomy for East Pakistan except for currency, foreign affairs, and defense, which would remain with the center. Mujib elaborated on regional autonomy and democracy in his booklet 6-Point Formula Our Right to Live, March 1966. Published during Field Marshal Ayub Khan's military dictatorship 195,869 after the 1965 Indo-Pakistani War. This 6-point formula became Awami League's program. Ayub Khan attempted to implicate Mujib in the Agrutla conspiracy case 1968, alleging collusion with India to divide Pakistan. However, he withdrew the case under pressure from public agitation in East Pakistan, compounded by his precarious position in West Pakistan. The 1969 agitations in East Bengal foreshadowed the 1971 uprising. Awami League thus prepared the ground for Bangladesh's independence. It won 167 of 169 East Bengal seats in the 1970 National Assembly elections, total strength 313. Whether Bangladesh would have emerged if Yahya Khan had allowed Mujib to become prime minister is debatable. However, the March 1971 uprising demonstrated East Bengal's determination to achieve sovereignty, with or without Mujib, who was imprisoned in Mianwali jail in West Pakistan. Swipe left for next video. Awami League's governance has been authoritarian at times, but so has that of the BNP and General Ershad. In a democracy, parties naturally cycle in and out of power. However, banning Awami League creates an identity crisis for Bangladesh. Denying its historical heritage could lead the nation in unpredictable directions. The writer is the author of The Microphone Men: How Orators Created a Modern India 2019 and an independent researcher based in New Delhi. Views expressed in the above piece are personal and solely that of the authors. They do not necessarily reflect News 18's views. Latest blogs.